others, we saw more of the percent getting laid down on Benson.
All right, so we have mid-range hunter versus, I guess, Zulok? Yeah, it looks like Zulok.
Yeah, you know, if I had to guess, this is one of those Zuloks that runs the Prince Keliseth. If you notice, it's got the Pirate package, which has been a thing. When you play the South Sea deckhand, Patches will be summoned, and he's a 2/2, which is fantastic for Paperbag here. Looks like that's probably what's going to come down. We'll see Patches come shooting out of the deck, boom. And a nice clear from Paperbag. Yeah, definitely. I think if I were Blessed Empire, I'd go on and remove that Pirate right away. But unfortunately for Blessed Empire, we're going to see probably another South Sea Captain come out. Chooses to play the Kindly Grandmother. Okay, maybe that was correct, but it also could be a mistake. We'll see. So he could have two buffed creatures here. He'd have two. Okay, he looks like he doesn't want to play the second Pirate yet.
I think we see a co-command. Maybe coin Kindly Grandmother. Saving Benson from the Bayonet of Juggle.
Maybe he wants to coin into the Deathstalker Rexar.
Yeah, that's probably a better play. Since he has 2 6-drops, I think he just
looks like it looks like Paperbag doesn't want to trade with the. He doesn't want to pop the Kindly Grandmother yet, so it's possible that he could knock out. Looks like he can. He's going to be able to knock out the Pirate. I think if I were Paperbag, I would have played the second Pirate by now. But from our perspective, Blessed Empire doesn't really know that
This is a good play here. Coin Deathstalker or Rexar, and then he can trade.
I agree. What I was going to say is I don't think that he knew, from our perspective, like we know, that Darkshire Councilman isn't going to get that much value currently. But we do know that he can trade right now. So that's looking good, unless, of course, Paperbag decides to.
Now it looks like he's going to get a lot more value because he can do Flame Imp into Malchezaar's Imp into Defender of Argus.
Yes, absolutely, and he can trade without losing any of his creatures. So he will keep his Darkshire Councilman if he chooses to play that.
Lots of value here.
Definite value.
Yo, many games down there.
I'd probably dump out the Malchezaar's Imp, yep, and taunt up the Flame Imp and the. Yep, exactly what he.
No, it is not.
That is the correct play. We do see Unleash the Hounds, and he will also probably either be able to Deadly Shot or a Kill Command as well. So really, it's up to Blessed Empire how he wants to deal with this board. Definitely Unleash the Hounds is coming out.
Both of the blue and green team
takes care of that Flame Imp too.
And there is coming in with a fresh stock.
So now he's going to have to decide if he wants a Zombeast or if he wants to remove one of these creatures. I think probably the Zombeast is the correct play. And maybe he could have done the Zombeast first. I think that's typically the correct order to do things.
Yeah, sometimes you could get some sort of minion that just that just gets something incredible like board wipe scenario.
So looks like we have kind of a low statted Zombeast. This is not probably ideal. Owl used to be 2 mana. So if this was a 5 mana 3/5 taunt, silence a minion, I think it would probably be much better than what we're seeing right here. But yeah, unfortunately, I think this is what we got here. And it does look like he picked the Silverback Patriarch, which was an interesting choice. I think maybe the Carrion Grub would have been better to get the +1/+1. But that is what he decided to choose.
Still here.
I think the taunt can kind of help him with the aggro presence of this Zulok.
I agree, definitely.
I don't know when particularly the silence would come into play. Maybe the silence Malchezaar here so he doesn't get the card draw.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to silence. I don't think that he should be really afraid of too many other pirates, so that would probably be the best target.
Let's see if he goes for that here.
You can also stem this aggro with the taunt.
He's really thinking on this.
He is thinking about it.
He's like, I think this is the right play.
Unfortunately, he can't get the zombies this turn. Kind of an awkward mana situation for him here.
It was a good play, though. So I was thinking about Kazar. He was going to get so much value off that Soulfire and Doomguard this turn if he didn't.
Denying that card draw. Absolutely.
It is. I was gonna get you dying.
Still very possible that he could life tap into another.
Malkhazar's in.
No, the other Malkhazar, or yeah, he could life tap into another Malkhazar's in here.
Yep.
He's only played one. I'm trying to remember how long he played.
Oh, you didn't get enough.
Oh, and he taps into a Bone Mare. That would be useful next turn. Let's hope he doesn't discard it. Doomguard coming out, I'm sure.
Bourbon State.
Maybe he'll just Soulfire.
Yeah, I guess let's see here. Oh, he discards the two best possible choices.
He's dead. He's
What a high roll, man.
What a high roll. Commanding position here for Paperbag. If this went the opposite way and Bone Mare and Soulfire were discarded, then we'd probably see a much less powerful position here. Definitely looks like Paperbag is in a strong position here.
I think he played very sharp here.
Yeah, you got to have something out there. It's not looking good for Blessed Empire right now.
You got to get more board presence out against this aggro board right now. You don't have many board clears in the way when it comes to Hunter. So when you're behind on board, it's really, really hard to catch back up.
Definitely. Now the Bone Mare coming out. Interesting that he taunted the thing that already had taunt. Not so sure that's what I would have done.
I don't think so either. I think splitting your buffs is a very accurate strat, considering he could get another silence minion just like he did with the zombies.
Yep.
And just shut that damage down. But I guess it doesn't matter too much here. He's in such a commanding lead that
Yeah.
West would have to pull off some sort of miracle in order to come back.
Yeah, this is not looking good at all for Paperbag, or for Blessed Empire, sorry.
I think you grab Scavenging Hyena here. I think you grab Scavenging Hyena and hope for a taunt. That's what I think it is, and then you trade.
Yeah.
What did he get? Yeah, Scavenging Hyena.
Yeah.
Basically.
I guess the charge.
Nothing ever is wrong.
Yeah, no, the Wind Fury. Yeah, it's a. I think he's hoping a deadly shot here. The taunt. Yep.
It exists in the.
Yeah, so it looks like Paperbag is going to take game one.
He's going to smack his face into the 5 side.
Yep.
There's nothing else he could do, really.
Nothing else to do. Time to concede. It's over. Blessed Empire being a true gentleman, allowing Paperbag to get the true lethal.
And the well played.
And the well played.
Oh, they traded. Yep. All right, swap. No.
Those production value we got coming up here. I love it.
So good. I don't know what the Warlock's going to switch with, but
Yeah.
we're waiting.
We will,
We will switch this while we're waiting.
game 2. Ooh,
Pin? I have one in my bag. Let me grab it. Does it need to be a pin specifically?
it doesn't matter. Because so that we can tell what the score is.
Oh, it's up on here. That's what the check marks are for.
Oh, I guess it'll be.
Yeah, we can't write on these either. These are tables.
Oh, for them. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just borrowing them
Yeah,
so
that's
we can
true.
tell what
That's
they
true.
have.
Yeah, we'll be able to see it on the alt tab into the. Or just use our good old-fashioned memories. Mine's got a shot right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We'll get that way.
no.
We commentate for so long,
Come
man.
on,
It just
bring it
drains
back.
you. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't know how draining it is to actually talk for an extended period of time.
Yeah. The talking is hard, but I'll tell you what's harder is, and I actually feel for these players, 4 rounds of the Swiss format is a very taxing thing.
Exactly.
So you gotta give it to guys like a lot of the pros, like Ties and some of the streamers, Disguised Toast, the guys who stream for 8 hours a day, and then they also do tournaments. It's so much brain power. People, and I often joke about, I think, and everybody jokes about how much RNG is in Hearthstone, and how it's a lot of times just kind of a flip of a coin. But there is a smaller, more detailed game that really the pros, the best players out there know how to play. That's banning correct bans. Looking at their matchups. What are your favorable matchups?
Yes, it is.
Kind of like the game within the game. So it's that's how the best players win. So it's one of those things where you got to give props to the really good Hearthstone players, especially the guys who perform well in tournaments.
Which hurt these? They're probably waiting for this. I don't remember what's left on the each other's list or something. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give this to-
Dreisten is able to make a combo of his own. There's sensible. Stocks are no longer even anymore. No, it's not even over. He did the thing that he tells everyone else not to do. What's that? Tells everyone not to. He'll slide a neutral when they're trying to get better with Bayo. And then he does it anyway. Well, it wasn't exactly a neutral situation, but I mean, yeah.
All right, we're back for game 2. It looks like we got Maev. That's the name that we were looking for, Maev. Doing it in classic innkeeper fashion.
Rip headphone users.
You remember Paperbag won with his Warlock, so now he's moved on to the Paladin.
Doing combos on Dreisten got him already up above 100%.
All right, we're updated and we're here, ready to go. So it looks like BlessedEmpire is running a your typical Miracle Rogue. A lot of spells, a lot of cheap spells. I think what BlessedEmpire is looking for here, he wants that to come out as soon as possible. Hopefully by turn 6, he can lay that down and then start drawing a bunch of cards.
Right. So we have
how he feels about that now.
the Paladin here from Paperbag, and if Paperbag wins this, it'll slocks him into Rogue as his last class that he has to win with.
Yep.
Oh, ready air dodge.
But no, I don't think this is too favorable of a matchup for aggro Paladin, it looks like.
Looking kind of like maybe a mid-rangey type of Paladin here for Paperbag. Really not particularly easy to identify. Usually what we see in the meta is the Murloc variety, where you play the Gentle Megasaur and you buff your whole board full of Murlocs.
Smash face for
definitely going to the face. Questing Adventurer coming down now. Looks like he might go and coin out a Hallucination and see if he can't buff up his. Okay,
I think he's going out. He's
Swashbuckler.
going counterfeit coin, hallucination. He's going at it.
Yep,
right now.
yep. Yeah, perhaps he's going to want to go on and buff up his Questing Adventurer as much as possible.
Wait, Miracle Rogue runs Don Honcho now?
Percy getting carried
Or is that
away.
just a medical? Or...
No, that he got that from his pirate.
Oh, from Swashbuckler.
Yes, that's correct.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
but that's
So now he runs
No,
on
he's
Don
coming
Show.
right back down.
well, no, he doesn't run it. He got it from the pirate.
Oh, yeah,
He got it
from
from
the
the
pirate,
swashbuckler.
yes.
Yeah. But what he can do here is he could either buff 2 of his cards here. He's got 2 cards. Now the Arcane Giant, that would be interesting for Paperbag to see. It would be a 13/13 for probably pretty cheap because we're gonna likely see Blessed Empire continue to start hammering away a bunch of spells. Maybe we'll see a prep and consecration to take care of these creatures on Paperbag's board.
But instead, it is now a 1v1
Do you need a water?
because Percy got caught up in that.
I think I could go for a water. Yeah, I'm running out of Powerade.
Yeah, we get free drinks. being
That would be
commentated, so-
fantastic.
And that is enough. That
I'll
is
get back.
Ginger Raff running off to get me a water.
game 3.
Let's go. Game 3, suckers. Ha-ha! Got it.
Okay, let's see what stage we wind up on now.
Sure, as in Corpse Flower coming down. This guy's going to stick around. Another counterfeit coin being picked up by Blessed Empire. Still looking for that Gadget Sand Auctioneer.
Some Percy, they get out against these guys. At this point, you're not picking for characters, you're picking for the people that are playing. Oh, but he did!
Paperbag looking like he doesn't have too many options. Might go on and just play the Rallying Blade and take care of the Shares and Corpse Flyer here.
Percy runs up
Nothing to buff. Unfortunately, a 3-mana 3/2 is now the standard for weapons, for 3/2 weapons. Vile Spin Slayer. That'll come in handy here for too long. I think Blessed Empire should probably hang on to that as much as possible so that he can get some value out of killing something like Tyrion or maybe the Bone Mare or whatever the Bone Mare buffs.
Is that another one?
Oh, so close.
Not enough mana for Paperbag right now to play a Bone Mare. Looks like he's just trying to keep something on the board. But what we will see here is a funny thing that I don't think Paperbag is expecting. We will see Consecration come out. Oh, and what's even better is we might actually see Preparation Consecration into a coin, Edwin Van Cleef, for a big ol' Edwin, maybe be what, an 8/8, 10/10, one of those. We might see a kind of a combo, tricky combo turn here.
What I miss? Word got cleared?
Paperbag is trying to get good value off his Bone Mare. And right now I think Blessed Empire is trying to decide how to deal with this. I think what he's going to probably do is what I was mentioning and try to get Consecration off into Edwin Van Cleef.
Oh, he read the air dodge but did not quite catch.
And he says we're still living.
And he's going to reactivate his Shares and Corpse Flower as well. Oh, that's interesting. I guess he didn't want to get any value out of his Edwin Van Cleef. I think that's a mistake there, Blessed Empire. I think you should have played your Van Cleef. You would have had the same value, and you could have gotten your Arcane Giant cheaper a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then Dryson's stock is gone. This is now a
I agree, especially with some mana Don Honcho and Vilespine Slayer in hand.
Yep.
He wants that low Arcane Giant to trigger Vilespine Slayer. And
definitely at kill percent.
Something interesting, though, is that we'll see Don Honcho come down. And if he...
Oh! He said let's go! Back to back! We in this! Woo!
Percy was like, oh.
Our Smash friends over here are having a grand old time.
getting pretty hype.
Getting real hype.
Yeah, that my boy!
Definite hypeness happening right now.
Yeah, it was.
Don Honcho probably gonna come down to buff one of his either Vilespine Slayer or Edwin Van Cleef. Now both of these are really not that great of targets. Vilespine Slayer especially is not a great target. just because you need that combo effect. All right, Van Cleef coming down. That's the best target that he could have hoped for. Although I think we will probably see the Valspin Slayer coming down this turn, take care of Tyrion.
Ooh, he's gonna need it.
Which time?
Ooh, we have hallucination to trigger it too.
Yeah, hallucination. That's actually better than Fan of Knives in this case.
Ooh.
Equality. I think equality is probably the play, perhaps. Let's see.
Ah. Limit not enough to keep him alive.
He's looking to kill him here. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
This is my combo now, but
I think Paperbag wouldn't really necessarily be expecting the eye for eye. Maybe this is actually a genius play.
Oh no. Oh, whoa, he's
That
got him
is-
here. That's amazing, the eye for
Paperbag is going to be very, very surprised when this comes down.
What a win here.
Wait, okay, hold on. The correct thing to do for Paperbag, he can still win this, is he has to attack first. No, he has to attack first or consecrate. No. If he attacks first, he's got his bone mirror, second bone mirror in the hand. So if he attacks first, he can still win.
Well, what do you mean by attack first?
Attacking with his face, with the Ashbringer.
And
If he
killing
attacks
Wildfire
face,
Slayer, or-
no, he has to attack his. Okay, so lethal here.
If he attacks with eye for an eye, he's still going to take the damage.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. No, you're right. You're right.
So literally all he has to, all he can do.
The only thing he can do is consecrate at this point. If he consecrates, then he might
He
win.
went for it. Yeah.
Man, is he going to play around eye for an eye? That's so
Oh, but
interesting.
Cells
It was
is
such a
going
risky
now
play
as
to go
well.
for
He
eye
is
for eye.
going to play consecration.
man.
What a play from Paperbag!
I mean, it's still pretty even. honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
so
can't.
even.
What a
What a good player out.
what a play!
And he takes it. I think going for an eye for an eye was way too risky, but
I think you kind of had to. You had to hedge your bets. Maybe Paperbag didn't have the consecration. Maybe he, wow, what a turnaround there at the end.
Breaks the combo.
Amazing finish to that game here. So let's go on and update the score, or let's see, update our images here. Or prepare to update our images. I don't think we know quite what they're going to be playing next, but we do know that Paperbag will be playing the Rogue.
And that is a 2v1 scenario once again.
Once again. But can you hit him with another one? Dude, get him, Bayo.
Now we haven't seen Shaman coming out yet from Blessed Empire.
Laggier witch twist.
let's see.
Just
What do
for
we
updates.
think Bless would pick, knowing that
And
the
that
final
backyard,
pick
he's still
for
here.
Paperbag is
And
Rogue?
No, we ain't in that.
Well, since Rogue is such a strong point in the meta, I think Blessed Empire actually made kind of an interesting tournament call here. He chose to play the Miracle Rogue rather than the Tempo variety with Prince Keliseth. So, not quite sure what his best matchup is here. And take a look at the matchup ratings according to Vicious Syndicate. Let's see, Miracle Rogue has a bad matchup against a lot of stuff, really everything. Tempo Rogue is the best deck in the game, and it looks like Miracle Rogue was perhaps a poor choice for Blessed Empire. You see the red going all the way across here. It's really a poor choice for just about aim.
Cells and Percy versus Darkshad.
And since we know that Paperbag has the Rogue, be interesting to see if he decided to also go with the Miracle Rogue or if he decided to go with the Tempo Rogue.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am a bit biased because those two are my boys. I drive them
But
everywhere.
bad news if we do find out that Paperbag has a Tempo Rogue. Looks like it's got almost a winning matchup against almost every deck in the game. So he keeps bugging, but he won game 2. Yes, Blessed. We know that we watched it.
It disappeared.
Look over you eating, and then I look over 2 minutes later.
His best choice looks to Big priest he doesn't have.
Token shaman is
Is probably his best choice
a
here.
decent, yeah.
That's what I figured. What you would maybe pick.
If he has token shaman, we'll see. I guess that's really the only viable deck in the game to have evolve.
It's not. I'm gonna divulge a little secret that people are gonna see here. That's not actually a token shaman deck. That is a deck that Derek Blessed has brewed himself, and it's kind of his own child.
Oh, really?
It's a control shaman deck.
A control shaman.
Yeah,
You're aware of the control shaman actually in this. Okay.
Yes.
So there is no data on control shaman in this current meta. So if we see this homebrew deck come out and perform, we might see something really special here. Maybe we could get some kind of comeback from Blessed Empire. And he has chosen the shaman. All right, I'm really excited to see this one.
I figured, hey, even if it might not be a good matchup, I figured he'd end it with
This is the trump card. Although we already see Paperbag getting an amazing opening hand with a swashbuckler coming out right away with patches. And Van Cleef is in hand so that any other shenanigans can be going on.
Yeah, this hand's pretty insane for
That's pretty insane.
Paperbag.
If he draws Prince Keliseth, it is probably over for Derek, Mr. Blessed Empire. Golden patches looking good. He is in charge. Okay, just dropping down a totem here. Nothing really to do. I think what he's probably going to want to do is get some good value off the Lightning Storm. South Sea Captain making some moves, making it kind of difficult for Blessed Empire. So his best choice maybe would be to hope for a high roll to deal with this board. Or what he can do here is go on and Tidal Surge. Okay. Tidal Surging. Hopefully he doesn't have another South Sea Captain.
We need to call it the Cells Destruct. Mist and Cells are playing a game of whose combo is it anyway?
All right. Ginger Giraffe getting some snacks, getting a snack on.
Oh, not quite high
Hungry,
enough.
had not really eaten breakfast today. So.
Very interesting. Looks like Paperbag is going to go ahead and try to bust out his Van Cleef right now.
Pretty convincingly, and Red Team's faces already.
Laying down his second Shadow Step. So he's getting a lot of random cards in his hand.
He tried.
Wow. So he's got 2 Jade cards. He's got 2 Jade cards now.
Wow.
So he can actually create. He's got more Jade power than the Shaman. Now what the Shaman is missing here on turn 4 is the newly costed 4-mana Hex.
It's a good thing he's not undering because
There is not one of those in his hand. Not good times. I think Paperbag's best hope here is to go on and pull off a good Volcano and get a
hope is to pull out a Volcano, yeah.
get the Volcano going and see if he can't take care of that Van Cleef.
F Smash is indeed a multi-hit. Not enough to kill though.
This is a very gross board state for them to have to deal with.
Now, actually, this is not a guarantee that he can clear the Van Cleef, because Volcano only does 15 damage, and he's got 16 health on the board. So it's possible that the Van Cleef could survive, and that would be a disaster. That would be a disaster for Paperbag. But honestly, it looks like that's his only option.
It really is.
He just really has to hope. Nope. Looks like he's not going to get it.
That's so
Oh, that is
unfortunate.
very bad. This is very, very bad, and it looks like Paperbag is about to take this. He'll be one
so
damage off
unfortunate.
lethal right now.
The question is, do Cells and Percy have an answer, or have
He's one damage off lethal right now with the weapon and the Jade Lightning.
I mean, they also come off fresh rest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brains are fresh.
So many possibilities where that Van Cleef actually ended up dead.
An option.
But he got the one where it
Dog
didn't.
Chat, you know he's been studying.
Oh,
Well, not really, because if you look at it, the likelihood that the Jade Spirit was going to get killed was much higher than Van Cleef getting hit 10 times.
He's been a lot stronger
True.
so far.
Is that no,
His Jade
Here
Jade
comes the
Lightning's
Jade
coming
Lightning.
over.
Yep,
This
and
is so unfortunate.
Blessed Empire is gonna take a loss here with his homebrew shaman, and it looks like Paperbag takes it 3-0.
big heavy man.
He's like, I got rage, I ain't dying anytime soon, man.
Not having that hex there really did it in for him.
Yeah, no, without the hex, he had no way to deal with the Van Cleef,
Dark Shad's dead now too.
and it looks like
Oh, what is happening?
we have a quick 3 and out.